One of my favorite parts about the Dominion voting system's defamation lawsuit against Fox News is the fact that they're exposing their hosts as being two-faced liars. That lie, of course, for profit, and their audience as being gullible dupes who want to be lied to. Okay, well, now another part that's fun is the fact that they're also taking the opportunity to rub salt in the wound by exposing some of the utter crazy in the right wing. Now, one example that I've talked about before is Sidney Powell and her so-called source. So Sidney Powell, of course, went out and made some insane claims about, election fraud, Dominion voting systems, their voting machines being like, I guess, programmed in Venezuela, weirdo stuff, okay? Not an ounce of truth at all in it.
In Venezuela.
Okay. Now, look, these claims easily debunked. No, she did not use, the Dominion voting system did not use Venezuela or the ghost of Hugo Chavez to steal the election for Biden. That's insanity. Now, that source I had also talked about, claiming that she got that information from the wind. The wind told her.
Wind.
So, the update on this is that source, we have more information about her. And it's insane because we got that information from an interview that she had participated in with the Daily Beast. It's great. So now Will Sommer tracked her down and found out she is a Minnesota-based cactus artist. Yes, a cactus artist named Marlene Bourne. Okay. Now, apparently, Bourne, in this interview, believes that she may actually be a ghost. No, I'm not kidding. She claims that she might be a ghost because she was internally decapitated. I don't know what to do with that. I really don't. You were, how does that work? How? I don't know. Okay, but anyway, let me just add. It's not really a segue. It's a good aside, though. This is why we need Medicare for all. We need Medicare for all. We need free mental health care for all Americans, free counseling, and free prescription drugs. I mean, I think that would solve a lot of issues. Really. It would. And that's just aside from nutty people. But okay, who obviously seem to need some healthcare. Okay, now during the interview, Sommer asked her to elaborate on her claim that the wind tells her that she is a ghost. To which she responded by asking Sommer if he believes in telepathy. Mind powers. Mind powers. Bourne says she then receives hidden messages. That's what she thinks. She's got telepathic powers and can receive hidden messages embedded in movies, song lyrics, and even conversations from strangers in the supermarket. You know, getting them hidden messages, talking to somebody in the cheese aisle. Okay. Hey, does she also see Lord Jesus Christ in her toast? I'm curious. Speaking of breakfast, now look, I'm not telepathic, obviously. So I may not be able to perceive hidden telepathic messages about the election in the grocery aisle, but I can't see why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. But anyway, Bourne, during one of her, I guess, times where she's really tuned in, honed in on her mental powers, right? Her perception, very heightened. Decided to email Powell one day, because she was on a roll. And her purpose for that day was trying to find the truth of election fraud in 2020. Yes, of course. She said, quote, "It's just really interesting where I'll have the TV on and I'll hear a word or a person's name. And for whatever reason I can't explain, I can explain it. It's going to compel me to look it up online. So I'll do a little digging." Now, she does explain the wind thing. Okay. Because I have to admit it, I'm having a little bit too much fun.
Wind.
She says, instead of saying I rely on my intuition or just gut feeling, I say the wind is talking to me. It's just a fun way of living my life. Don't you think? Oh, okay. So she actually doesn't have the wind literally talking to her. Got it. But basically, she just explained that she gets a feeling. It's all feelings, right? No facts, just feelings that lead her to dig herself into rabbit holes online. Oh, okay. So, of course, she ends up going to these right-wing fever swamps filled with fake news, disinformation, and gets her, gets her insight there. When she's not, of course, getting special telepathic messages from the TV. These people. Now, look, I talked about why certain people become conspiracy theorists, right? They want to feel special. Maybe they're in a world that they don't quite understand, or they don't understand certain things. And so they go, well, look, or maybe they just don't fit in, right? And they think, well, I must be special. I must be special because I know the truth. See, I know the reality. You see, only me and a select group of people that I know, we know the real truth. Everybody else is a sheeple. And these sheeple need the wool cut from their eyes, from in front of their eyes. Because, I mean, they got to see the truth, right? And we're the only ones that really know the truth. So we're going to bring you the truth. And when we do, the truth shall set us free. Free. And they'll become a hero. You see, that's what it seems to be about. And I understand the appeal of conspiracy theories. Trust me. Everybody wants to be a hero in their own story. And of course, we do know that there are conspiracies out there that do have truth in them. In fact, every good conspiracy starts with a kernel of truth, and some have more truth than others. So not every single one, conspiracy is complete and total bunk. A lot of them are, though. But that said, the ones that are not, they're proven by evidence. Okay? And so you need evidence. In the case of the 2020 election being stolen, there's no evidence to confirm that that is the case. In fact, there's plenty of evidence that proves that it was not stolen and that it was a completely legitimate election. And look, Republicans who would gain most from Donald Trump winning in 2020, because usually, when a president wins an election, oftentimes his party also tends to do better in said election. And that's not always the case. So, look, a lot of these politicians, Republican politicians, are like, hey, look, we really would like to Trump to win, but we just can't find evidence of fraud. We've been looking. Trust me, we've been looking. And short of manufacturing the evidence themselves, they did everything they could. They scoured, and they couldn't find any evidence to prove that Biden did not win this election legitimately. Them's the breaks. Not even the cyber ninjas in Arizona, whose whole purpose was like, we gotta find something. No, couldn't find a damn thing. Now, in addition to her conspiracy theories, getting back to Miss Bourne, she also thinks that the late Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was murdered. Murdered, yes. apparently, according to her, he was part of a human hunting expedition. What? She claimed that globalist elites at the Bohemian Grove, went and hunted down and murdered Antonin Scalia. She tells Sommer, quote, "What's one way to get rid of a Supreme Court justice in order to get the kind of people you want on it? Hunting." How exactly did that work out? I mean, honestly, like, I keep getting told that the globalists elite are, I mean, there's so many different things that they say that the globalist elite are. We got a majority a conservative Supreme Court, the most pro-corporate court, I believe, in history. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but they're incredibly pro-corporate. Majority conservative. What makes you think that this is not what the right wing wants? I mean, Donald Trump got a whole bunch of picks, and so those picks were all confirmed. He got 3 Supreme Court justices. That seemed to have worked out very well in his favor. Nonsense. Look, this is the person who claims, whose claims Sidney Powell took at face value. Face value. And then Powell went and spread those very claims not only on Fox News, but also in that hilarious press conference. And that's claims that people on Fox News, by the way, did not believe whatsoever. Let me go to Tucker Carlson here. In text messages between November 16th and 19th, Tucker Carlson had written, "The whole thing seems insane to me, and Sidney Powell won't release the evidence." Well, again, now we know that Sidney Powell didn't have any evidence because her evidence came from a woman who thinks that she gets telepathic messages from the TV.
Wind.
Some evidence, right? Yeah. Now, Laura Ingraham, another person that was in this all thanks to Dominion filings, said this: "Sidney Powell's a bit nuts. Sorry, but she is." No. Laura Ingraham. First time I've ever agreed with Laura Ingraham. Yes, she's nuts. Carlson then responds, "She's making everyone paranoid and crazy, including me." By the way, on November 17th, 2020, Carlson also wrote to an unnamed contact, quote, "Sidney Powell is lying. Effing bitch." Ooh, spicy. And that same day, on the 17th, the newly released text showed Carlson relaying directly with Powell, challenging her as she claims that more evidence is pouring in, which it wasn't. You keep telling your viewers that millions of votes were changed by the software. I hope you can prove that very soon. You've convinced them that Trump will win. If you don't have conclusive evidence of fraud at that scale, it's a cruel and reckless thing to keep saying. And he would know about being cruel and reckless. And besides those two things, it's also incredibly profitable. And because people like Bourne, who gravitate towards conspiracy theories, well, the more you spread conspiracy theories on, for example, Fox News, Tucker Carlson show, well, the more people like that tune in. And the more advertising dollars you get. And so, look, the right wing is filled with people who believe in conspiracy theories. It's not a coincidence. Their media constantly puts out new conspiracy theories every day. I mean, and look, the reason that they do that is because they don't have anything else. They don't have policy that's popular with the American people. because they never back policy that's popular with the American people because it wouldn't be popular with their donors. And so they have to rely on, of course, grievance politics, specifically white grievance, fear, and, fear of immigrants, fear of LGBTQ people, fear of change, fear of basically everything, bigotry, and then conspiracy theories.